welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be talking about my backlist books that I want to read in 2019. So if you don't know what backlist is, it just basically means books that were not published this year, 2019. So I've got a ton of books on my bookshelves that I still need to get to. So I'm just going to go through and talk about the ones that I absolutely have to get to this year. I definitely want to get to these books this year. The first couple books are going to be books that I've actually gotten as gifts from other people, and I kind of feel bad, so I really needed to put them on this list to get to this year, because I was given these books as gifts like several years ago, and they've just been sitting on my bookshelf and I've never read them. Although that is the story for most of my books. Most of the books I get sit on my shelf for at least a year, if not way more, before I actually get to them. Very rarely do I pick up a book that I've just gotten and read it right away. So probably 95% of the books that I read have been sitting on my shelf for quite a long time. One is a nonfiction, one is fiction, but it's a standalone. And I'm going to insert the covers of the books right up here, because I do not feel like grabbing them from my bookshelf and showing you guys. So the first one I'm going to talk about is called Teach Me to Forget by Erica M. Chapman. And this is one that I got from a friend a few years ago. My friend is actually friends with the author of this book. And so she was like, hey, my friend wrote this book. Do you want to check it out since, you love to read and stuff? I was like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And so she got me the book, and I just never got around to it, and I really should. It sounds interesting. It is a contemporary, which I do not read much contemporaries, which is probably why it's taken me so long to pick this one up. But it is the type of contemporary that I would be interested in, because it deals with a serious topic issue. So basically the main character in this book, she has lost her sister. I think it's her younger sister. And I don't think it says how she lost her, but she's lost her younger sister and she's grieving. And she decides she doesn't want to deal with this anymore. She doesn't want to be alive anymore, so she's contemplating suicide and is, going through the motions of getting things ready for her to commit suicide. And then one day, but before that happens, one day she meets this boy who ends up trying to stop her. So that's pretty much all I know about this one. So like I said, it does deal with a pretty serious and heavy topic. And those are the type of contemporary books that I like. So I'm interested to see how this one turned out. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Wizards, Wardrobes, and Wookiees, Navigating Good and Evil in Harry Potter, Narnia, and Star Wars by Connie, Neal. So this is another one that I was given as a gift by a friend. I actually was given this as a gift for my birthday one year, and it's been several years ago since I got this as a gift. And I was like, I really should get to this one soon. This is a nonfiction, and basically, if I'm remembering right, it kind of talks about like what we learn from those stories from like Harry Potter and Narnia and Star Wars, like the lessons that we take out of there, and kind of how it shapes us, I think. I believe, is what it's about. It's been a while, so I don't remember completely. But this is another one that I definitely need to get to. So the rest of the books in this video that I'm going to talk about are series. So some of these are series that I've started but haven't finished yet, and I really want to continue and finish them. And some of them are ones that I haven't started yet, but I really want to get to them soon. So, yeah. So, the first series I'm going to talk about is the Gemma Doyle series by Libba Bray. And I have two of the books in this series. I really want to get to it really soon, definitely in 2019. I love the Diviner series. If you guys have been on my channel before, I've talked about the Diviner series. I'm always recommending that series. It's one of my favorites. And so I really want to check out Libba Bray's other series, especially because I've heard a lot of good things about her Gemma Doyle series as well. And that one was written before the Diviner series. So I want to check it out and see how it is. I love Libba Bray's writing, so I'm hoping that I'll love this one. The next series that I want to get to this year is the Shades of London series by Maureen Johnson. And the first book is The Name of the Star. I read this a few years ago. I do want to reread that and then continue on and finish with the series. The Name of the Star is a retelling of Jack the Ripper, and if you've been on my channel before, you know I've said that I love Jack the Ripper retellings. I don't know why, but I do. So, and I really enjoyed the first book in the series, so I definitely need to continue them. I have all three books. I think these books are perfect for fall, and that's kind of when I want to read them. So, yeah, hopefully get to them this fall. The next series that I want to get to this year is the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. The first book is The Kiss of Deception, and I have read the first book as well. I read it a few years ago now as well. So I do want to reread the first one before continuing with this series. And so this one is one that I've always heard such good things about on BookTube. And I really enjoyed the first one. And so I really do want to continue and see where the story goes. And so I'm excited. I really want to pick the series up hopefully soon. The next series that I want to talk about is The Young Elites by Marie Lu. This is another one where I've read the first book in the series, and I really enjoyed the first one, and I really need to continue with it. Again, this is one I read the first book a few years ago now, so I do want to reread the first book and then continue on with the series and see where it goes. Next up is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Yet again, another series that I've started and have not finished. It's a good thing one of my goals this year is to finish at least 8 series, because there's quite a bit that I've started like years ago and have never finished. So I have read the first book in the Ember in the Ashes series. Read it several years ago when it first came out, and I've never continued, but I really want to because I really did love the first book. It was really good, and I definitely want to continue with the series and see where it goes. I only have the first 2 books in the series, so I'll have to get, I think there's 3. I think it's a trilogy, I want to say. So I do need to get the 3rd one. But yeah, I want to reread the first one and continue with the series. Next up is a series I actually have not started yet, and that is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have heard nothing but good things about Brandon Sanderson's books. All of his books have always gotten like amazing reviews, and everyone seems to love his books. And Mistborn has been talked about so much on BookTube, and I'm like, I really need to get to the series. It sounds so good, and I really need to get to them. Hopefully this year, definitely this year. It's high up on my list of books or series to read this year. So I do have all 3 books. I think it's a trilogy. I think there's just 3. But I do have all 3 books in the series. And the last series on this list that I'm going to talk about is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I read Red Queen several years ago now, and I have the first 3 books in the series. I know there's a 4th one I need to get. So I have the first 3 books. I've read the first 2, but I haven't continued with the series, and I need to. So I don't know, since I've read half the series so far, I don't know if I'm going to go back and reread the first 2, or if I'll like look up some spoilery reviews to refresh my memory and then continue on with the series. So not entirely sure what I'll do in that aspect. I may reread them, maybe not, who knows, we'll see. But I do want to get to them this year. So that's it, you guys. Those are my backlist books for that I want to read in 2019. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these, which ones should I push to the top of my list, and let me know what are some backlist books you hope to get to in 2019. So that's it, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!